The topics will be how to read a picture, how to understand a picture, how is the composing, what did the background with us, and then how to write a picture. How I can get new ideas, new points of view, and how do I work with target groups. And the workflow, last but not least. The basic thing is composing. You see 3 different world religions. What is similar? Does anybody see what is similar in these buildings?
The lighting. How it makes it more...
The light, yes, of course, but something different. You see, everything is in a triangle composition. What does it mean? It does mean that the buildings are built in a form that both sides are similar. What does it do with our reception? All religions say we are here from the beginning of manhood and to the end. We are timeless. And that is also what they communicate. You see in many religion pictures a composition of triangles. That means it's very stable, and it means it has no time direction in the future or in the past. It stays now here. In marketing, you can use it, but not so often, because it's not dynamic. But when you want to sell diamonds, diamonds are also forever. Then it makes sense to take the triangle composition. But now you see Deutsche Bank. Everybody know this logo?
Yeah.
It's correct? No, it isn't. I changed the logo. It goes down. We don't want to go that our money goes down. We want that it rise, that it get more. That's the reason. That is the logo of Deutsche Bank. And that's an important difference. This before was a negative composition. This is a positive communication. And it comes from the DAX index. They want to rise the money up. One of the best logos because it's very, very easy and very understandable. And you see it also on the traffic. You know that the left traffic plate goes up and the right goes down. And this came from reading direction. We read from left to right, and that's our feeling where is the past and the future. And also in political communication, what one of my topics is in my career, it's very important in which direction a politician looks on the photo. When you see a Barack Obama here is switched on the left side and he looks to the past. And on the right side to the future. And the funny thing is, when we look on pictures in Germany in elections, now there grows a party named AfD. And when you see the pictures of them, they often look backwards to the good old times. But when you want to communicate the people that you are for the future, then look in the future. And you know, Philip and me, we have a friend, he is in the German Bundestag, and I make his election marketing. And his good side, you know, everybody has a sugar side, his good side was on the wrong side. That means I had switched on the posters the whole picture. Nobody didn't see it. Also his mother didn't see it. But it was so important that he looked from the left side to the right side and not in another direction. When you don't trust me, try it at home. Every Photoshop is able to switch a picture from this to this side and make the proof where it's dynamic and where it's for the future and where it's for the past. And one little thing. The most people, especially women, don't like photos from herself. Try to switch it, because every morning in the mirror you see you in the wrong direction. And that is the feeling you have from your face. That's your normal face. But when you see a photo, you see yourself on the other side. That means it's for you not normal. And that's, in the most things, the point why the photo, you feel it's not me, it's not really me. Switch it. Go in front of a mirror, show yourself your photo, and you will see, that's me. Diagonal composition. That's the main important composition for normal marketing situations. Because we are dynamic, we have here a space, you see, where the car can drive through, and that means it's an open future. The circular composition is good when you have single points, single motifs. You want to have one group. That means now we have things here. They have nothing to do. But when I go and make a circle, they come together to a group. They build a team. And that's also for classical marketing useful. You see it often in companies to take care about networking and consulting, because they want to show that they are a group. And you see here, we have also a circular composition. And don't make a mistake. A round football in the middle of a picture is not a circular composition. A circular composition needs more than 3 single motifs. Also important is the perspective. Now look at this guy. I didn't change anything in person. The only thing I do now is I go and let the horizon rise down. That means I go, when I make the photo, on the knees. And now look how the feeling of this person changed. He get a hero. Okay? That's very important from which point of view you make your photo. You see? Now it's a normal person. Up. And now it's a big hero. That's very useful for photography in marketing sphere. You see here 5 children. When we see this photo, it communicates us fun, strong and happy child. And that is the reason they make the photo in this way. We have in Germany Chibo, I don't know, maybe it's also in Ukraine. Chibo is a cafe maker, but he sells a lot of things for home. Practical little plastic things you can use for your child or for your kitchen. And they want to show the people a happy world with a happy family. Every single clothes you see here you can buy. But the picture don't communicate by me, it communicates you have strong child. Together they are a team, they are not alone and they are strong. That's the reason this photographer lie on the ground. When you search for a good photographer, don't look at his car. Look that he wears sneakers and look on his knees. And when you have holes in the trousers, then you know he's move-able, and then he can make good photos. Now we see from H&M, it's a clothing firm, company, and you see now it's from a neutral eye-to-eye position. You see the girl is not important. The clothes are important. You see in color, we have a maximum contrast with a dark background, and then this pink, this strong pink as a contrast. That means this little girl is only a holder for clothes, not more. They want to show the clothes. And now we see this little poor girl. And we feel it's poor. And how did they do this?
The background.
Oh, very important, also the background. Imaginate, in the background would be a perfect bed with SpongeBob and a few teddy bears. You would think, oh, this child didn't get his chocolate. But your brain sees the background, but it's more a feeling that you really see it in your front brain. it comes under the surface in your reality. And then we have the perspective. We look from top down to the child. That makes this child not strong, but the adult is responsible for it, because we are higher and we look down to this child. And then the hand takes the wall. You want to have a little stability in her life. And that all together with the background, makes this picture so good. It says a lot, it gives us a feeling. And that means this picture works. Now we want to see, thank you for the background thing, because that's my next topic. Now we look at an ad from Siri from 2010. It's very old, okay? But it's a very good example. Now look at this ad. It takes 10 seconds, 12 seconds.
Das ist das iPhone 4S. Erinnere mich ans Mädchen, wenn ich das Büro verlasse. Okay, ich werde dich erinnern.
Sag meine Freundin, ich schaffe es rechtzeitig.
Hier ist deine Nachricht, Amina.
Was liegt heute alles an?
Ich konnte folgende Termine finden.
Brauche ich heute Abend einen Regenschirm?
Es sieht nicht nach Regen aus an diesem Abend.
Sag Hallo zum erstaunlichsten iPhone aller Zeiten.
So, now we look more exactly. At the beginning, we have, does anybody have an idea what composition we have here? It's dynamic, it's calm, huh? Triangle. It's a normal triangle composition. That means this product is stable. It isn't nervous, it doesn't move, it's stable, it helps you. And now we see her. We have now, what composition? Does anybody know? Diagonal, exactly. In which direction? Past or future? Past, exactly. Why? Because this is a target group. This is the wife of a dentist. She has her own job. You see it. Her clothes are straight, a little blue. Blue is a business color. But she looks in the refrigerator. And I don't know, I have a refrigerator. And when I open my door, I see other things than this healthy looking thing. What does it make with us? It makes a position for this woman in front that she's responsible for her family. See, she's a family manager. And she knows what she do. And she help her with theory. Next target group, young, successful guy. Now we have also a composition in the future, exactly. And now we saw that he ran fast but not hectical. How did they do this? Look in the background.
Sag meine Freundin, ich schaffe es rechtzeitig. Sag meine Freundin, ich schaffe es rechtzeitig.
You see, in the background the guy runs. And that makes a difference, the contrast. And that means I'm straight, strong, but not hectic. And that's the force of background. I give you a proof that is not, Philip, Zufall?
Coincidence.
Thank you. That is not coincidence. Now we see the next target group, my age. Around about 50 years, successful. He asks Siri about the day, and they have only a meeting, a successful meeting. He also wears a blue business hat. Huh? And in the background you see two childs.
He's responsible for his family, for his children.
Yes. And is he poor?
No, but he's like
Yes, he's because he's calm, but he has money. You see it because it's a target group. Apple is expensive. You see it? Imagine the door would be a normal office door without decoration. It would be a different picture. Think that in the back wouldn't be would be big skyscrapers without trees, you would see another picture. You would make the target group different. That means the background make a position for the model in the social situation. And now that's you. That's a target group, young, successful people. And you see, here it's allowed to have a little chaos in the back. The first picture, well, the background is a little bit chaotic. And you see her, and she makes this. What does it mean? Nervous, not sure what I can do. But then Siri help her, and she's happy, and the hand goes away. Okay? And this all say to us, this model is me. I see me. It's my life situation. This product is good for me because I see myself in the spot. And last but not least, more is less. What do you have to know when you want to buy this product? You have to know the brand, and you have to know the name of the product, not more. The rest makes Google. It's absolutely not necessary to make a domain under a logo. When your brand is good enough, the people would never recognize your www.com/. No, the brand name have to be unique, and then the people will remember the brand name and will go to Google and will find you. Less is more. So, and now, if you don't trust me that there is really everything planned in the spot was made for the whole world in different countries with different models, because you have a different cultural surrounding. And every time somebody runs, you see, the last women didn't make this. Why? This was a spot for Australia. And in Australia, the women are very, very strong. And they don't want to be shown as nervous. This is the price you have to pay for the different cultural surroundings. And you see, also the models was different, a little different. But from the style and from the background, it's a worldwide communication.
But also the color of the clothing would change from time to time, because in some countries certain colors might be considered offensive, or on the other hand are more perceptive to the general audience. So I found that interesting how the company managed to adapt their style to certain cultural aspects.
Yes, but the point is, in the end, we have also the maximum color is a blue color, and blue is the most responsible color you have. When you see insurance companies, when you see banks, it's very often that they have a blue color, because blue is trustful. Think it over, why the logo of your university is blue. Because you can trust your university. But color is a very big theme. It's beside the background and the composition is color so a strong force to manipulate the people without they know it, really. But it's a complete new lesson that only for color needs 3-4 hours to give you the basics. Now I want to show you a few examples of a good visual communication, of a good picture language. When we see Coca-Cola, you see it worldwide. You see the same pictures with the same models. They don't change the models normally for different countries. And they have a very unique and able to remembering picture language. And how did they do this? The motif is very important, of course. It's every time happy people, not fat people. Think over how many sugar is inside of Coke. But it's always sporty people, nice people, and young people. The composition is dynamic, normally, and the perspective is neutral. The coloring is very important here. You see normally in every picture from Coca-Cola that the color from the logo will be in any situation one more time on the picture. And you have something you tell the people with a picture, and that is always fun. Have fun. And this picture language is very constant. It's since, I don't know, since the 60s, they take this strong contrast in the colors and this young, fancy people. When we look at Mercedes-Benz, complete different style of communication, very dry, very technical, very grayscale, but also normally in diagonal composition. But if this ad not, when you compare this ads, you see here a difference.
This position goes down. This position goes down. Yeah?
No, it's a triad, because this ad will show the history. The first car ever was developed in Stuttgart, Germany, and this is what now came. And this is the reason, it's a good example for the past. Look at the past, and this looks in the future. When I cut the picture here, we have here a positive diagonal composition. When I cut the picture here, we have a negative diagonal composition. And one more time for the color. You see, here is a brown. That makes also the information that this is the history more strong, because brown stays for history. And the good picture language has the opportunity that you know the picture is from a company without the logo. That means this ad has the logo very, very decent on the down side, on the right side, but you know at once that is Mercedes-Benz because of a constant picture language. And of course of typography, what's also a new lesson is. And one more thing, not only in the political communication. You can sell your product one time with a good marketing, but not a second time. And that is what McDonald's had to learn. On the beginning, they had advertisements with young, happy guys, sporty guys. But the reality in USA is that. And that is what the people see when they go in a McDonald's restaurant. And the discrepancy, the distance between reality and the advertisement was so huge that the people don't feel well. And they thought, don't show me this young guys, my son looked like this because of your food. What they do? They make completely right the decision to make the ads without people. That is, people attract, absolutely. Because when you see a photo and the guy or the girl look in the camera, you have to look at the girl or the guy. But they say it's too dangerous for us to show these young guys and get the discussion about our products and the sugar in our products. Now this changed a little bit. But only in this healthy things, the new line from them, there are really, again, people, young, sporty girls, but they sell salads and wraps without a lot of fat. And that makes sense. And that's the reason now we have, again, people in the marketing of McDonald's. But only for the products with low fat and low sugar. Now, how can I get a good picture? And there are a few tools I want to show you. At first, you have to know what's my motivation, and that's really important. And when you need the whole day to develop one sentence what your target is, then I'm pretty sure your communication will be straight on this target. When you say, I want to have a feeling like a little of this and then a little of that, and maybe it could be, then you have a problem to find a clear visual communication. Maybe we want to have more tourists in Paris. What is a picture when you think Paris? What do you think about Paris?
Beautiful town, of course.
You see? Never, I make this lesson 50 times. Never somebody says something different. This is a symbol for Paris. Okay, job done. Go home, bill, money. I'm ready? Not ready. We have to attract. We have to show the people a feeling, not only the iconographic picture of the Eiffel Tower. We have to show the people something who takes the stomach. The reason is we have two different ways to communicate with the target group. When you see such a situation, you have two opportunities. You have emotional attraction and your iconographic formal attraction. What's the difference? The difference is the target group. The right picture is for the target group, for people who love Paris and want to be back again in Paris. They walk through the stand and see from the eye, clear, it's Eiffel Tower. I will get informed. Another, on the left side picture, is more for people who say, okay, come, we look here where we can go to vacation, and then you need a picture it don't have to be so clear the Eiffel Tower. It has to be more attraction, it has to be more, hello, here I am, look at me. Okay? Because the difference is the target group. One is interesting, you have to show the icon, that you know it's a scene where I'm interested in. And the other target group is, for the emotional attraction, is people who don't know what they want, and we want to sell them our product, our Paris. And that you have to clear before you begin to think about your visual communication. And the big problem is also the surrounding. You can make a wonderful advertisement for a newspaper, and it looks on your screen perfect, and then you see it in the newspaper under 500 different advertisements, and your advertisement is only a little thing from thousands. That means when you make a strategy for visual communication, you have to look where I will produce, where I will show my communication. And that means when you are in a situation where everybody cries like here, it's maybe intelligent to whistle, because that makes you different. When everybody screams, the quiet guy is important. When everybody is quiet, then scream, and you get attraction. Also try to find new points of view. And it's getting harder and harder, because everybody has a camera every time on your handy with you, and we have so many photos all over Facebook. We see the whole day, we see photos. And that makes it really hard to find new points of view. And that means when you make a photo, please try to look from where. Small tip, on your next family party, when the little child came, go on knees and make photos from this. These photos will, the grandma will totally happy, because this child isn't photographed from top to down, what 99% of all family photos do. Because nobody is able to make, come on little girl, make a photo here. And it will change the photo completely. It will make your relatives stronger. That's a fly. A fly is not nice, but this photo is nice. You see? You can also make a photo from an ugly thing. When you make a good composition and a good coloring, you can make a photo from a bad thing that it feels good. Look at your motive and see what can I see, what perspective, what lighting, what can I use that this is special. In my beginning, I had made a lot of photographs, and this is a very famous stairs. Philip, from where is it there? You have to know.
Oh, from the chancery.
Exactly. But this kind of photo, this stair is photographed 1,000 times per day. But I want to make a photo. What's not so normal photo is from this stairs. What I have done is I go in a forbidden area and make the photo. But nobody wants to go in the forbidden area. But I want to have the photo. And that's the reason when you make photos, you have to be brave. It's also when you're on an event and somebody talks. When you want to have a real good photo, you have to stand in way. You have to be loud. You have to be brave to go on the stair to make photos that are really near to the speaker. And that means you have to live as a good photographer. You have to live with a lot of aggression, because you are in front. When you are on a wedding and you want to have a good photo in the church or something like this, you have to go in the front and you disturb a little bit the situation. But that's the price you have to pay for really good photos. You have to be brave. And now, here is Jan Metzler. He's a politician we tried to sell. And it's every time the same photo, it's a special technique. This photo is made without a background. Then I can use it for anything. And that's very important, because in political communication you have to react very fast. And I don't have the time for every new situation to make a photo on the original location. That means the background transports something. And I hope you see the difference. You know that it's Photoshop. But you can't change that this feeling is better than this. You know it's Photoshop, but you can't change that your feeling about this guy is better. It's the same photo, only the background is different. The environment. We have often the problem that we make a picture, and the picture has to transport a feeling, maybe calm. When we see now this photo, it's a nice little boat, it's on land, and it's a nice photo, but not more. But when you take the surroundings, it can push the situation. On the other hand, it can make the communication less efficient. When you want to show a seagull, did I do my job? Why not?
Because it's not your target, or it gets lost. We don't know the main goal.
Now?
Yes.
No. The two. When I want to tell you a seagull, the exact communication is this, and not the other picture. Because you say, the recipient You have to look what I want to show you on this big picture. And you have to make a direct communication without that the recipient have to learn something or to search for something on the picture. And contrast is also an important theme. And we have here in this picture two kinds of contrasts. One is very clear, it's color contrast. What's the second contrast? Does anybody see it maybe? The red color, yes. One more.
Blurry versus.
You see in the background it's an urban situation. And you see there is land, there is a normal street without trees, there are parking cars, and then this nice small flower, alone, colorful, and here this rough urban situation. That means we have two kinds of contrast in this picture. That's a content contrast and a color contrast. When you see this, it's an aesthetic contrast. Of course, it's a nice girl, absolutely. But they pushed her as a filigrane girl. And they make the photo in this dirty, rough situation from this nice and young girl. Think it over. She would sit on a sofa, on a red sofa, and she wouldn't be so breakable, you know. Contrasting content. Child shame, everybody knows. We see a child and we want to help them because the nature makes this with us that childs have to be saved from the adult people. And now we see here a child who writes mom on the wall. That's something we don't want. We want that childs are happy, that childs have their mom. And that makes also something in our stomach. That is the attraction developed through the difference between what we want for this child and what we see with this child in this dirty situation. And that's also a good, also in political communication, it's a good method to generate attraction. And of course, color contrast, you know the colors, works every time. You know the color circle, and when you have two colors on one eye, then you have the maximum contrast, and that's here the point. And it's very strong from the picture, and you have to look at this because of the strong contrast in color. And now I want to show you. A good example for a complete corporate design. That's from Ernst von Siemens Musikstiftung. It's from music, for classical music. And you see the picture language is consistent and planned. And before the photographer goes outside, the photo was scribbled. What is similar? I don't have the time, I tell it to you. Similar is that we have not so strong colors. Similar is there are no people on the pictures. Similar is on every picture is this, I don't know the English word, is the thing for the nose. And we have a horizon in a nearly same height. What is good when I have this reset? Good is on this reset that you every time know where I have space for typography or for information. You see, all the time you have a light situation in the top. When you go on the website from Ernst von Siemens Musikstiftung, you see that the navigation and all this sits directly on the photos. Because all photos are made that they fit in this architecture. So, humans attract, I told you. Humans attract is important. When somebody look at us, we have to check enemy or friend. That came from our history. But what we do when we choose a model? We define our target group. And very good example is tourism. I have a son, he's 11 years old, my son. And when I have to choose a hotel and I see the left picture, I'm pretty sure that my son will survive there, because everybody said, please take the child away, I want to sit here with my girl. I never would book there, but I would book on the right picture, because I see a grandma and two children and they are happy together. The problem is, vacations for schools in tourism are only a few months a year. That means when you want to have all people in the main season, the child, and in the not main season, the adults without child, then you have to make a communication is neutral. And that is the picture in the middle. That didn't communicate we are young, only adult, and it didn't communicate we are only we have only families with child. Or this, without any person. That makes it also clear, but you see, it don't attract you so much, because we love to see people on pictures. Last but not least, you are freshmen, and I want to give you a little experience of my workflow. And if you want to be efficient, if you want to have time for student parties and all this, make a good timetable, make a good workflow for you. Somebody had an idea, you take your camera, you go outside, make a photo, come back, print it, and give it away, and say, oh, it's so nice. But in the end, you will see that you have a problem with file format, a problem with another picture. They have to fit to your picture. And maybe you go outside and don't find the motive because you don't plan it. Flat burning. At first, look for inspiration. Look what the colleagues have done. Don't imitate, but get ideas from them. And I like Google Picture Search. It's such a great tool to get ideas and to change the idea, or to merge two different ideas to one new idea. And that's creativity. And when you have the idea developed, write it down. And check your idea that it's really a clear communication. There was I don't have a picture here, but it's totally funny. There was a picture and logo from a guy. He was from the Catholic Church and he took care about child. And there was a person showed, and the person hold a child here. And on the picture, it looks like the child's head is exactly this high. The guy who makes this logo didn't think about small child and sexuality, but the people who see this picture have to interpret that to 90% as a pervert, Catholic. That means show your work. A lot of people who are not involved in the theme, they give you the right answer. And don't ask, hey, look at this, I made this in 5 hours. Did you like it? He will say, yes, when you take 5 hours, I like it. Lay it on the table and say, what do you say? Nothing more. And then wait what he said. And then you know what your communication communicate. That's the way we do it. At first, the research. use your brain. Then, write down a few ideas. One idea is not enough. And when you think it's a perfect idea, think half hour longer, maybe you get the more perfect idea. Then write down what you want to do. And when you want to make a photo or a layout, take a pencil and scribble it. Scribble don't need to be a good drawer, no matter what your artist teacher told you. I was never a good drawer, but I'm a professor for design, because my competence is here and not here. But when I want to make a project, I begin every time with a sheet of paper and a pencil. And then came the shoot, post-production, production, and then distribution. Summary. Composition, background, colors, and icons are tools to create a picture. You always have to remember your message and your target group. A good idea only is the beginning of the work. Be aware that your main message is clear and your visualization have no accidental information. Keep your eyes open, find new perspective for everyday situations and objects. Thank you for your attention. Be brave.